Not long ago, these prop firms were at the top of the game, trusted, respected, and growing fast. But today, they're either gone, struggling, or surrounded by controversy. Welcome to our new docuseries where we will be looking at the shocking downfalls of some of the household names in the prop firm space. Forex Funds was founded in July of 2020 by CEO Murtuza Kazmi, operating under Traders Global Group Inc. The company positioned itself as a proprietary trading firm, offering trading success to its capital. The firm offered funded accounts to traders who passed the simulated evaluation phase, a model that quickly became popular in the retail trading space. Unlike traditional brokers, Forex Funds did not require traders to deposit their own money, but charged a fee to attempt the challenge. They experienced rapid growth in the market right after the COVID-19 pandemic. Forex Funds immediately took advantage of the retail trading explosion, including aggressive digital marketing campaigns that utilized multiple social media platforms. The firm partnered with various trading influencers on these platforms to create viral content, positioning it as an approachable and very profitable opportunity for prospective traders. For instance, many influencers were showing the profits from Forex Funds, funded accounts, traders posted withdrawals from several hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars, boosting the firm's reputation even more. By September of 2023, Forex Funds had reportedly amassed over 135,000 customers and generated at least $310 million in fees from traders attempting to pass the evaluation phase. These figures made Forex Funds one of the most dominant proprietary trading firms in the industry at the time. In August of 2023, a lot of legal challenges started to emerge. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, also known as the CFTC, filed charges against Traders Global Group Inc., a New Jersey corporation, and Traders Global Group Inc., a Canadian business organization, both of which did business under the name Forex Funds along with their owner Murtuza Kazmi, accusing them of running a $310 million fraudulent scheme involving proprietary trading services. Now, simultaneously, the Ontario Securities Commissions, also known as the OSC, took action against Kazmi and his Canadian entity, banning further securities trading due to violations of Ontario securities laws. So here are some key allegations that you've got to know. Regulators allege that Forex Funds misled traders by claiming that trades were executed against the firm's funds with third-party liquidity providers, while in reality, Forex Funds acted as the counterparty to nearly all the customers' trades and profited from the traders' losses. Forex Funds was also accused of manipulating its software to execute customers' orders at a worse price and liquidating the accounts of profitable traders using false pretexts. Kazmi is alleged to have used proceeds from the scheme to purchase luxury homes and vehicles and transfer tens of millions of dollars into his personal accounts. The OSC raised concerns about the potential for fraudulent activity on the platform, asserting that the company was not properly registered with the Commission and its operations were therefore unauthorized in Ontario. The OSC also pointed out that the company was engaging in the illegal distribution of securities by allowing customers to pay for access to trading capital without proper regulatory oversight. There were some internal conversations revealed during the investigation. The CFTC presented internal communications among Forex Funds employees, alleging that these discussions revealed deliberate strategies to undermine profitable traders and ensure the firm's profitability. Employees discussed manipulating spreads, imposing slippage, and suspending profitable traders. In one shocking exchange, an employee complained about profitable traders, stating, and I quote, "We need another profile just for these accounts," and slipped them to hell. The CFTC obtained a restraining order to freeze Kazmi's assets and those of his companies, Traders Global Group Inc. in the US and Traders Global Group Inc. in Canada. The order also mandates the submission of financial records for regulatory scrutiny. The OSC banned Kazmi and his Canadian company from further trading in securities as well. Now, the CFTC Director of Enforcement, Ian McGinley, stated that offering leveraged retail forex or commodity contracts without proper registration is a serious violation of US law. Forex Funds was one of the largest and most influential prop firms at the time. Its sudden shutdown and legal trouble sent shockwaves across the evaluation prop industry, triggering a chain reaction of changes in the prop industry. This case highlighted potential gaps in existing regulations governing proprietary trading firms, leading to calls for more comprehensive oversight to prevent similar fraudulent activities. Now, following the Forex Funds case, many proprietary trading firms began openly disclosing that traders were trading with simulated capital rather than real market funds. This shift was driven by increased scrutiny from regulators and growing demands for transparency from traders. By September of 2023, Forex Funds challenged the CFTC's asset freeze. Forex Funds fought back against the CFTC's decision to freeze its assets, arguing that the regulator misrepresented tax payments to justify its actions. The firm presented evidence of pre-authorized tax payments totaling 27 million Canadian and 4.5 million, which the CFTC had flagged as potential misappropriated funds. For instance, Forex Funds showed that the tax payments were made months before the CFTC's investigation, contradicting the regulator's assertion that the firm was attempting to hide assets. By November of 2023, Forex Funds questioned the CFTC's jurisdiction. Forex Funds' legal team filed a motion denying all allegations brought forward by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, arguing that the CFTC lacks jurisdiction over the business. The firm's defense presented several key points. For example, Forex Funds operates as a proprietary trading firm, not a traditional brokerage. According to their defense, the firm never solicited investments from customers but instead allowed traders to act as independent contractors. This business model, they argued, does not fall within the CFTC's scope of regulatory authority. Forex Funds' legal team highlighted that all trading activities were conducted using the firm's own capital, with the majority of these trades executed on simulated accounts rather than real market execution. Now, this distinction, they argued, further separates Forex Funds' operations from the typical business models subject to CFTC's oversight. In November of 2023, a U.S. court partially granted Forex Funds' request in the lawsuit filed by the CFTC. The court ruled to release and return most of the assets belonging to the company's CEO, Murtuza Kazmi, valued at approximately $100 million. However, a portion of these assets, amounting to $12.08 million, will remain frozen. While this partial decision favored the defendants, the court upheld the prima facie, which is also known as the first impression, evidence submitted by the CFTC to support the charges against Forex Funds and Kazmi. Prima facie evidence refers to the initial evidence that is assumed to be correct unless proven otherwise. The court's ruling indicated that the CFTC had made a sufficient preliminary showing of misrepresentations, misleading statements, deceptive omissions, materiality, and scienter, which is also knowledge of wrongdoing in their case. The court also set a cap on the frozen assets based on the fees generated by Forex Funds from its 8% of the customers who had live accounts. The company reportedly generated approximately $310 million in fees from all customers and paid out around $159 million. According to the evidence, 8% of the remaining amount was linked to live accounts, and this portion was considered when determining the amount of assets to freeze. By March of 2024, Forex Funds filed a motion for sanctions against the CFTC, alleging that the regulator had knowingly fabricated evidence presented in court, including the internal emails introduced by the CFTC and pointed to by the firm as containing statements that were either fabricated or misleading. The legal team for Forex Funds argues that the CFTC intentionally misrepresented facts and acted in bad faith. The motion filed in the U.S. court highlights how the CFTC misrepresentations were pivotal in securing a statutory restraining order that froze the assets of Forex Funds and its CEO, Murtuza Kazmi. As part of the sanctions request, Forex Funds seeks an evidentiary hearing to fully investigate the regulator's actions, claiming that the CFTC's misconduct resulted in severe harm to the defendants. This includes the destruction of a business that took years to build, as well as financial and personal strain on Kazmi's family. The motion also accuses the CFTC of attempting to infringe upon attorney-client privilege between Mr. Kazmi and his counsel. Furthermore, it criticizes the CFTC for misleading the court during the preliminary injunction hearing, particularly regarding the timing of the discovery of falsehoods tied to the statutory restraining order. The CFTC admitted to misclassifying a tax payment but described it as an error in judgment, rather than intentional misconduct. The agency stated it chose to address the issue in open court rather than immediately filing a corrected declaration. The CFTC claimed to have taken steps to rectify this mistake by correcting its error on the witness stand, filing a corrected declaration, and voluntarily producing an overlooked email to clarify the record. It also argued that the misclassified transfer did not influence the court's decision to impose a preliminary injunction or maintain the asset freeze. Now, Forex Funds argued that the timeline disproved the CFTC's claim of wanting to correct the misclassification in open court. The firm accused the CFTC of knowingly relying on the misrepresentation rather than addressing it immediately. Forex Funds claimed that the CFTC continued misleading the court even after the issue was raised. The defense stated that the CFTC's assertion of taking corrective action was an attempt to downplay the seriousness of its misrepresentation. In July of 2024, CFTC Commissioner Caroline D. Pham criticized the agency's handling of the Forex Funds case, stating that the staff likely lied in court, casting doubts on the charges. Now, referencing the Rule 11 sanctions motion and court admonishments from November 14, 2023, here's what she called for: an independent investigation into the alleged misconduct, a reassignment of the case within the Division of Enforcement, removal of conflicts of interest, and recommending that the Office of General Counsel, not the Division of Enforcement, handle the sanctions motions. Her remarks raised concerns about internal misconduct and the CFTC's credibility. In August of 2024, U.S. Senator Charles Grassley of Iowa, a Republican, wrote to the CFTC chairman seeking to know answers from the regulator behind the handling of the Forex Funds investigation. The letter came just before a crucial evidentiary hearing on possible sanctions against the CFTC because of how it handled the case. All of this was a rare rebuke by lawmakers against a government regulator for its policing practices in the financial world. By November of 2024, there were rumors of a settlement in the works between Forex Funds and the CFTC. With both sides applying legal pressure, the settlement could mean that Forex Funds pays fines but stays in operation, or the CFTC could back off some of its claims in return for greater oversight of the prop trading industry. Now, in December of 2024, during a court hearing, the CFTC lead attorney Ashley Burden admitted that the agency's investigation into Forex Funds was, quote, careless and sloppy, but maintained that its case still had merit. The admission raised further questions about whether the regulator overstepped its authority and whether Forex Funds was unfairly targeted. Traders who participated in Forex Funds suffered significant financial and emotional setbacks due to the firm's alleged deceptive practices. Here's how they were impacted. Number 1. Misleading business model resulted in unfair losses. Many traders joined Forex Funds believing their trades were executed in live markets with profits based on real trading performance. However, Forex Funds allegedly operated on a simulated platform where it acted as the counterparty to the trades. This meant that traders' wins resulted in Forex Funds losing money, creating a conflict of interest. Forex Funds profited from traders' losses, making it less likely to reward successful traders. This model left traders unknowingly participating in a system that discouraged their success. Number 2. Manipulated trading conditions. Even traders who performed well faced obstacles due to alleged platform manipulation, which included price manipulation, where orders were executed at unfavorable prices, leading to unnecessary losses. Also, delayed execution, where profitable trades were reportedly delayed, preventing traders from securing expected gains. Slippage tactics was another one, where artificial slippage made it harder for traders to execute their trades at their intended prices. These tactics unfairly skewed the outcomes against traders, reducing their ability to make consistent profits. Number 3. Compensation for affected clients. Following regulatory actions in 2023, Forex Funds assets were frozen, impacting the firm's ability to process refunds and payouts. Traders eligible for withdrawals and refunds found themselves in a precarious position, unable to access their funds due to the asset freeze. In November of 2023, a U.S. District Court ordered the release of approximately $100 million of Forex Funds assets. However, $12.08 million remained frozen. The release of these funds did not immediately translate into refunds for traders, as legal proceedings and claims assessments were still underway. Traders due for payouts have still not received their payouts, and no refunds or chargebacks have been issued for affected traders up to now, which raises a big concern about the firm's transparency and ethics. The situation with Forex Funds has left a lot of traders frustrated and uncertain. With allegations of fraud and little communication about the lawsuit, many are wondering, will affected traders ever get their refunds? Will those who were due for payouts finally receive their earned funds? And if the verdict is not guilty, could the firm make a comeback to the prop firm industry? Right now, there are more questions than answers. All we can do is wait and see how these cases unfold. The prop firm industry moves fast. One day a firm is thriving and the next it's in free fall. But by studying these failures, traders can avoid falling into the same traps. So, Let me know in the comments what shocked you the most. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. As always, we'd like to thank you for watching and choosing Prop for Match. See you in the next one.